Welcome again to the screen. This is live from the very campus studio in the core of the CDR7. So we would have to also welcome our very intelligent working and having many other things, components and issues related to today. And then our main point and discussion will be this: the three main colors and what it means to really deal with very generation and my babe. So the three main colors that we talk about, maybe you talk about three things, at the end of the day, 7 that you're going to find. Because 3 things begot 3, and the command to say 6, having worked out 3, have that begotten in light, which is Sunday. That's myself. So from almost every generation that it began with colors, to have myself light over the works. That is SYLVESTER, KWASI, BEKOE. So we'll have to go there on this very day. That is special number. So we are very much concerned about what the number, and that it happens to be on this Tuesday. And that we have a name that I saw the word I start, Sat, Sun, Tus. These names are the things that begot, or are the creatures, the element, the stars that begot myself to come from the universe. And they also coming from the universe. How we create again new world. How we see many things and multiple times. This is KWASI, BEKOE on the live. So we are live on the YouTube as it is broadcasted beautifully, as the designs here tells you how can you have a world like this. Reflection, and we created more like, if I don't tell some of them what they see here, they won't know. Out of the design, we have had a world and a path. If it has to be heaven to you, what does it mean? What does it represent? Look at the reflection. Just look at it. How the kind of world it is. And just also watch carefully on this life. How the things in the Lord, the kind of heaven that is over you, or the kind of heaven that is over myself. What do you mean? These are the numbers, particularly very important in talking about. Look at what it is. Let's add this. Let's say maybe 1 here, plus this will be what? 8, plus this will be what? 9. Then the world ends. This day is yet another mysterious day, because when I add to this number and this, we'll have 9. And when I add this to this, you'll see that one of this says 7, the main 7. So that to understand how the 3 things, what we mean 3 things, like 3 stars. We are talking about mainly 3 stars. And each star, I told you, is represented for an archangel, or one angel, or one great ruler on a particular star. And we have this mystery today. Even today, I've been involved in such a conversation that I would like to know. I created my things, let's say the universe, on, we did it on the 11th February. And somewhere along the line, I just watched somewhere few hours ago, and then they thought there will be an eclipse something for somebody. But I don't really look at what they're saying, but I created. So this is another universe I created again. But this part, you only know the area of a star you dwell on, not to say how the telescope will watch wide view. Or when you are in the house, how you see only in your house. And when you are outside your house, how you perceive things. These are the ways you look at what I'm saying. So that is the only way you can have what we say is understand, because spirit. You cannot talk about spirit, yet you don't know what spirit is, and you don't know yourself what you become. It is this. The Lord have not charged anyone to go and be proclaiming things. Even as we are hearing, some people are rising up. Even you hear that, maybe like the prophetess, vision. So many things happening. So you don't just break up the news. But whatever happened at a point in time, let's say judgment-wise, right now, if in 1 second what happened, you have to have the judgment. In the next week, that's how it is. You don't say that something will happen tomorrow, and then you won't work today till tomorrow. And you think something should just wake up and happen tomorrow. Who is going to work tomorrow? What would you be doing today till that time? Or you are the one going to feel that something will happen tomorrow. And I told you these days, we are not talking about things. This week, we haven't been talking about the word things. No. How we have to know what I'm saying. So let's look at the mystery. And then, basically, these colors, let's interpret it. You know, mostly you want us to design. I can just do it. Maybe let's see that. These colors we are talking about, I don't want it to be like, you want to know. Yeah, we don't have it. So, as it's on the screen, let's watch carefully. So, let's do that right away. You know, it won't be hard to talk about this as a creation. It's not somebody's creation, but once we are on the internet, it is my work they are keeping that's reserve. So if the reserve comes, you will give meaning to what somebody has also created. So in that case, you say I'm using somebody's work or I'm doing something work. That's universal work. If you talk about the light, when the light comes, you should know him. If you fail to know him, you will sin against him. And you won't have it lightly because I'm not the one to sin against. Watch on this very, let's use the neutral like this. It means that when light is allowed to be light, look at it. Let me add something here. If I do this, it's become a world to you, probably darkness, right? Okay, who is light over there? There's nothing you want to find as light. That's how the Lord created the world. For many different stars, there, it has been created like this. There, at the point, he has to come to the level like this to create those things that he has hid. Why? They were not actually hidden. They were themselves in the word creation. However, you don't see. Is that when I display black on black, you won't see where that spot circular thing is. Yet you have what? Let's say three here, like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. That is 9. And in the middle is what? Archangel, who operate, let's say from this side, these 3. 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 And that will form what? 3 on this, 3 on this, 3 on this, which will be 9. But that, at the end of the day, you are going to see difference. So, if we have nothing that is light, how can you see that which is what? Hid in this very space, where it is almost every time the same. There you look at it. Then there is what? Angels or demarcations. And we'll show you where it is that you stand. The one that you are seeing in the reflection. That person is one that will show what it is where they are keeping some. That's the covering ants. That's the covering angels. For they are the same angels, engineers. Watch again. If I take it out, the world will be without form again, yet something has been created in it. Where is that thing with plates on it? You won't find that. That's why it will be like a trench or a holocaust something. But does that mean that we've not added anything to it? We've added something. So this is how the Lord finished his creation in more of his own nature like this. And then he now make known that which he has hid in his secret. So that's secret. So the Lord in the Isaiah, he had said, for you lead some of them toward a secret places. And what makes somebody in that place, a place they dwell, what do they delight in, or what actually do they do over there? What do they really have in that place? That should be like, you are saying, maybe you are saying occult, and they say, oh, we want to do something that nobody should see. Because we tell you, whether we tell you what is origin or not, you don't understand. So we'll be in our gathering secret place. So this is a secret place. Now, when the church also go to this side, they are also in the secret place because they have a division that makes them what they believe. What they believe is what? How they were given. That's what set them aside. When the Illuminati is also on this side, they are also what? In a secret place. But that which they are keeping in secret on earth is these stars in the heavens, heavenly bodies, angels. That you don't know. That their level is very different. When it comes to the light, and then you are claiming a portion that when we talk of stars, then you are evil. Who told you that? Okay, the Lord himself is the one talking. Now, why they can actually say you cannot talk about the original thing is because you may sin and may add to them suffering, trouble. That is why. That's the one rule that you cannot talk about, that which is of the law of creation without fault. The only thing you can also talk about again is what? How you are, where you were given, you are in your own suffering. Don't mention his name. That somebody should be the healing to your flesh. That is a sin. However, if you have a mason, the mason will come and build in this place. So let's say when it's in the darkness like this, the one who is in this, trying to block you from seeing what they are doing, like the photo art and studio for lab printing. How it happened, you don't have to have what you are producing come into what? The light until it has been finished or until the desired result is achieved. Because when there's a part that you don't know, the rule is that when the light reflects on that which is not accomplished, it will spoil it. But when it is finished and we now outdoor it, there it has nothing to what? To be spoiled or has nothing to defile it anymore. However, even many things happen. So if I don't have this angel, who is the curser? The one who curses you from not seeing this. That same curser, let me put it here. Let me click here. What did I hit here that have not been made known? Here is it. So that if I'm the one who creates something in this middle part, I'm the only one who will know what is here. That if I jump up this angle straight, calculation distance, and I land here, I shouldn't fall in emptiness where it probably won't be a good place to land. Do you agree? So if I place a good place here, or if I build something nice here, at the right time I'm doing it, I have to only jump from the same calculation. That's what made a spaceship and space rocketing. Calculating the distance and how to land on these things like this. That's what we are saying. Now, to make known what I have to say is in there. Let's find out. I have to make a difference. How are we going to see that thing different? Either that thing become light. Look at it. When it becomes light, like this. Like this. This entire background should become what? Also what? Light. Like this. Yet you should see a difference. How secular or their form. This is a shape that is definite and indefinite. Infinite and infinite. Or infinite and infinite. This is it. You see that they are telling you simply the creation that when this part of the creation become light, it will draw this energy which you were not seeing first as darkness. So let's say this one, if it becomes yellow, this side should also reflect yellow. But it will show almost every one of it, it will show in grade. The intensity or how intense is the light or how energy fusion is emitted from this nuclei, give it that energy to how wide it should operate or cover. So this one also becomes what? Yellow like this. But that will be a grade. So that grade is this that if I show this, let me show you in grade. I'm going to show grade in this. Grade in this. So that what we are saying is grade. Let's add one. No, this okay. That's right. So a grade in this will be what? Let me show you what is grade. The grade will be this. The grade should be this. To what level are we showing the grade? This side. Where are we applying it? To this one. I want us to see the way it is. So to this level 1, 2. You are going to see grade like this. Then it's also like this. Like this. And there it gets to what? This side. For you to see what? The perceiving distance. So if this object now becomes closer to you in the opposite, you have to see the quality of the light as if it's fading into this very space. That's how it should be. So how closer it is to you determines the quality or the kind of level you are seeing it better than it will be probably in distance. This is what we are saying. And watch again. Now when we do it in the opposite, if this one becomes rather closer to us, and you want to say you stand close to this than the one behind, then it will rather change to this. It means that why the night draw, if there's no movement in distance, or if there's no light energy like engineering, switch, turning on, amplifying, it means there will be no day nor night. So as for day and night, it can occur in many ways. That either the Lord turn light on and skews it low, or there's a movement that how high it is, it's been flying over the same level, yet because there's a movement, it will cause distance, as a result being the reason how we show you this thing will draw the night and evening time changes. There is like that. So that's what exactly it should be. Let's go for a moment and break. So that's exactly what we're saying. In a silent, we were on the break, but it doesn't mean the world stopped working. So in your sleep, you might think you have gone on break, but the world does not stop because you have gone to sleep. There's a spiritual part, which is the angels and engineers like circuit components that keep the works, the rule. You break the rule by sleeping, but it's also a rule that the Lord did for you to favor you on certain conditions you cannot travel or things you cannot do. You have been given a kind of limitation, yet you can change that one also to become as the world is operating. That's what exactly it is that the Lord said you should become transformed to this level, so that when they call you in each part here, you are fit to have yourself known here. This is what we're saying. There also watch. If this one should become light like this, as we mentioned, this side main should be what? That light. And this object will have to transform in the form also in grade, as we see it here. Do you see it that way? This is it. Like the level like this. That's a grade. That should be shown. Watch carefully what I'm saying. You have to have it like that. So we can only see this working the best way. Next is this. So I don't want us to have people talking about go for break, so that we see that break but won't go off the. So you have to keep the rule. If you fail to keep the rule whilst I'm talking and creating, you are doing something else. It means you are not led by my spirit to be obedient as I have been obedient to the Lord. That's why I'm saying, if I be obedient and I want to know about myself, and you come in with your creation or your God or nature, that's opposite. You didn't know that the same light that we were seeing there as this could have a grade that is in range like this. This same white is its own level grade to this. As you are seeing it from this side, the same grade to this level, like this. That's it. So that if you have none of you become light, the world will not become light, even though it is light in its own way. But you will see what you are saying. Somebody try to make you understand that when this form appears, this also must transform to what it is here. In that case, we transform this world. Let me show you this. If I have to have this to the level like this, we have to see the world like this. Again to another section and level, that if it should be like this, then you will not see anything apart from what this, because of how wide it is or how closer it is to you, makes you probably not see what is behind. Yeah, when this one give way, a little, then you would have that opportunity to know what is also behind. So if that which is front here, in front leading the path, is greater or closer to you than the one behind, you have to see only the works of this person. Yet he may be with different people working, but he is the only one to tell who is behind. You cannot come, you the one to know it now. You won't tell me what the Lord is telling you to tell me. Why is he not talking to me if he is behind? So there are things like this that you have to understand. That is why you have to pay heed attention. Here it is. That if now that world was as dark or in a dark mood, what do you think should have happened here? You know, every second I want to talk, you are making somebody to be one person in everything. We are not like that. So we were saying that even they want to keep the rule from letting things spoil. I don't see him. That's why they say, if you are the one who make it possible, you are the only one it will be mentioned. You don't have somebody else take your place and then you are being made opposite. And yet when we say, who made a fruit, who made a seed, who watched the tree of life, the one who made it has not been given. We can't make ourselves as a pleasing place or healing for any sick person. Any ailment should be dealt with justice, as the Lord said. What the word just means, right now, what you have done so right now must be rewarded. That's why USA, they pay people on hourly basis time. If you work this 1 hour, the project is 1 hour, get paid. You cannot say you are holding somebody for 3 decades. 3 decades, like you are saying 30 days for 1 month. No. Do you know the situation how they live on single day? If somebody should find job today, that's the same day you must be giving food to eat. How is it going to be given? The work he has done maybe in 1 hour to deliver and get paid, that is how they will be fed. But if you think somebody should be employed on 1 month base, before they get paid, that is a cheat. That is totally off the lane. So nobody can beat US with how they do and live their life because of this. If your knowledge was this, and you have understanding, that you would have known what I'm saying. You know that we have to be in the position creating. We cannot add any devil of somebody other than what we are showing here. The one who doesn't learn, who doesn't know how to talk, as they are corrupt, when you allow them, they will corrupt you. They will corrupt that which you are. I haven't gone out anywhere of the house. I just woke up in the same house. That is the factory. And I have to do what? Things that concern the Lord of the universe and heaven and earth. Where we are is also in the universe. So if you don't see yourself in the earth, and you think this earth has been built on something, you think, ask yourself, is the sun standing or is up? Okay, if the sun should go upward like this, what do you think is holding it? Whose hand is holding it? When the earth comes underneath the sun, do you think there's a rope that is holding it? You should look out the magical powers for the Lord, which causes what I'm doing now. This earth is the same way hanging. This earth, this rock on which we are, is hanging there. Don't say your father or your parent have made you who you are in the distraction. They may have their own judgment, as you have to have your judgment different. Yet there is a judgment that is common, that if your parent couldn't do it, so you too couldn't you do that, you were not watching, you were using their own eyes. Then they say somebody's eye is somebody's eye. It's never true. Then you have become something else. That you cannot say until you transform to somebody's well-being. You are not a human being. Then why did the Lord create you as a problem to the world? Then how do you blame on us who must die, leaving that person to go scot-free? Then we'll show you the wall. Because I'm telling you, look, you don't see my horns, eh? I can show you the horns. If you don't want to see that as an eye, I'll show you. If you don't see it as what? A special sword handle, I have to show you. That will look at what it is as it appears before us. Let's get to the commission for this broadcast. So Tuesday, 17th February 2026 is just in the place like number 9 right now. So we will have 19 as we are seeing also what? 17. Look at the mystery. We just take ourselves to the level like this. So now, if let's say time-wise, this should be moving here. You see it? Here. That's how time-wise things work. Is the night drifting? It's drifting, right? Like this. I hope you are seeing it. So that, why is darkness covered more? This side. Because the light here has moved from this side to this side. So this side is receiving more light than this side. Which you cannot say it should be in a position that does not make a movement. So here again. So as it continues. So maybe day is drawing and another night. And in the night, you have to find what? Stars in the universe. Those who receive light during the day and work of this great one. How they receive light, that's a virgin understanding. How this great one came working, and the ones who receive it on the same foundation, on the same account, even how they have what differences. So they receive energy during the work of this great one. And how to be what? This. And as they give way, then they allow these ones to be, because whether this one allow it to work, as for them, they are also in the work state. Like this. So whether you give us to sit on our throne or not, we are in the working state. You will not place us somewhere before the world will know what we are and what we can do. So it is. So this one had gone off, and let's look at it in the way it is. Like that. Disappeared. So if there's a movement again, that this one move here, this one move, this one move, you have to see what causes what they are saying is eclipse. Not that somebody should just do it like a movie. You are watching, but as I do this, you are seeing the movement that from one stage to the other. That is what we are saying. So this is the practicality that makes what those eclipse and things are. As we are seeing even in the heavens, what is taking place. You don't let your enemy come to the level where you have to give what? Understanding that your ear must listen. Perceive well. So in that case, when there's displacement, is because there's what? Movement. The things are not static. Some of the stars are in a static mode, yet they are not static as you think. They are not dead in the state. Do you agree? When a star dies, it's either going to, it will shoot or it will fall. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Now, if we have 100%, let's take a look at that. We have 100% energy reserve. Let's do that. So who do you think have taught us what I'm doing? I'm just doing it right now. How things are operating that you don't know. If we have, let's say, 100%, let's look at 100% for what it is. That, let me see. So, watch carefully again. Watch as we're saying. The light, things can happen surprisingly. So if there's no light, you see what darkness can do. It has to have their level and limitation, and there are others who are not limited at all. Do you want to agree that what I'm doing have nothing to do with whatever is thinking evil of you or ill of you? Yes. So, a displacement. So watch carefully. Now, with this 100% that we were concerned about, this should be energy reserve, 100. Now, let it tick. Counting. So, count down from this, from 100 now to 99. Then somebody was just taken out of one energy source, which left it to be 99. That 99 they've kept till date. But most of you have been giving also 100%, and you don't even have one, common one. That's the intelligence, the virgin working. So, the Lord can't go against my rule for that which I do. You don't know why you don't feel cold. It's my work that changed the world like this. Not that kind of God or spirit or shrine that made you feel cold. That's not a season. If you want to die, I don't want to be in that mood, because that's not a state of life. It is a natural phenomenon, but that is corruption to what? The one who is not dead. It cannot be like that. It can never be like that. So the state of the art, whatever I'm doing here, that's the state of the art. To have somebody operate with you or before you and you don't understand what they are doing. They also may not understand, but there are some people who have mastered it, so they know. So if you allow it to happen, so it is that you will never even know what has really happened. So if we now have what different energies and different stars operating, what do? You have to understand that there will be what changes like this in time as the Lord reserved. You want us to be in a race? No, I cannot do that because I have something to do with it. So let's find out what is happening right now. There is a kind of unstable situation. So let's. So in the art, if we have to display, let's display. If I want to display in the art the source that I've made to be this level in the round spot or in the very object or the star, or you want to see it in the circle. Now it's like in this place it is how great or how it is powered or how it has been amplified, that if the same energy that is produced at its source is like this here, so you see it here like that. But as it goes farther away or further, that's why you call it further. So there is somebody who is at the further of this place. So you call it further so that before you can fly from outer space to another space, you have to have the wing. Or you have to have the superpower that you want to call yourself, I'm here and I'm over there. That's it. If not, you cannot travel in it like you are seeing it emptiness. So to have the light source like this, here, you want to have it like this form. That's what we are saying. To reflect from this, then the quality is diminishing until it gets what? A place it cannot reach. Then that place becomes as it was created originally. And this is also originally created, but that you have to know the default creation is like that. So let's watch. If I want to change something, let's get it. So if you're in the rush trying to say you have a degree, your degree has fallen because I'm not with that degree, but I'm having the universe creator degree. That's myself. So let's look at it. Now, if this one should be this color, as you are seeing gold, do you ask yourself why the sun changes to gold? Why do you think? You think it's the water that changes the sun to gold? No. The water is not even closer anywhere, near where the sun is. Even to that which they can say it is the skin or the sun reflecting on the water that look like this color is the reason the world appear to be what? Gold. Like that's not. You don't agree. The sun itself, it should be an element living, not dead. That transformed to what? Colors. As you see a planet Mars in its original color is what? As this. It's more like this in a more added things to it. That one you can say it's like that, but on Earth you see it's also multi-purpose. The Earth is multi-purpose, multi-component, multi-angels, or multi-what? Element. That makes it what it is also in the form you look at like a soldier or military way. That's what we are saying, those things. You want to say it like that. Now, let's make a move to this level. Let's find out. I want to do this. But I want us to be in the silent because the birds are... So let's look at it. I want us to drop this shadow here. Like, just what? So I want to drop a shadow. What do I mean shadow? I want to show you distance in the light as it travels. So behind the scene, I was just trying to, or in the process, I'm trying to work on something, but we have multiple things on the screen. You know, I didn't set that as default. So when I change to the default of the universe, then you look at what I'm saying. Somebody even just got to do something, but we'll manage it. Let's look at that. So there are some people who have named themselves. Let's say if you name your personality spirit as pickup, it means that if you are not careful, whatever has been created or somebody placed somewhere, you go and pick it up, even when it's not yours. That's why some people have their own children taking things from people because they don't even know what the name is. What you call yourself have a meaning. That meaning is this: you have named yourself rot and rotten and destruction, and they are doing things and you don't know it. If you are a demon whose work is to destroy, and you go and name yourself or your family those demon name, and you see things being destroyed, who do you think they should look for? You, the one who named it. It's your family that has to be blamed for that. That's your family that will be blamed for that. It is your family that has to be blamed for that. So if you see this, say that maybe who I am outside, so I am probably when I am saying from the source. So my inside should not be blamed for what you are, because I keep the rule. Don't get dressed and go and call somebody down opposite. Already that spirit, where you make known to the world such things, you are in hell trouble. So continuing, what I want to do, let's get it. To this, let's get it. I have a lot to do when we take a look at or maybe considering this. I have a lot to do. Just that I don't want the thing the way they're kind of looking at. I don't want it like this. Yes. Like in the distance, I was like, if light throwing distance. You look at it. So we're trying to look at it like this. Throwing the light distance to this point at an angle like this. At an angle like this. You see that if this should be a light source traveling that distance, if they didn't set up this very light source to go wider at a certain angle, it should not easily get involved into this area. It should focus straight. That is a light speed. Focus straight to that place it has been directed in the creation. So at what angle is open here, that's how they made a light to travel. To focus on what? The point screen or the source that they are traveling. That's a light speed and the beam. You want to say laser and the beams and all of that. So those things become useless if you don't have the spirit to make it clearly to the people in the universe. If you talk about the universe, how you study things and they obey or they behave, well, that's nice, but you need to have the spirit to do it here, and then we see it also in the universe like that. Do you agree now? That is why you have to know the creation spirit. That when I talk about it, like when SYLVESTER BEKOE talks about it, like, so SYLVESTER hasn't been the spirit of somebody, so SYLVESTER BEKOE cannot be in the home of somebody else when it is not righteous for us. Your name and family not be God who is light. You cannot say you are claiming the person of somebody. It's in your house. That which you claim. But you cannot claim somebody else's or maybe good. So let's say this light traveling from a source like this to this point or this angle. There it may need the energy. How high it is will require this here, the capacity. And then what it means. That if I have to say we are operating on light energy to be 100, there's a time calculation that it will last. That time calculation tells the element what they have produced from that which is reserved. So the batteries, the light energy, the sources and all of that, they are reserved virgin. Everything that is happening from that is to try to say something is reserved, something is righteous, have been created like that. That's a reserve. So at like this, at the point like this, if it's a kind of light gold colored light we throw to a white body, it should be like that. Even if it's hot, if it's a blackish area, you have to see the light travel in the black things like this. You have to have the path created from this thing or from this light. We won't talk about things like that. From this light, if it's blue, it should be blue. Now watch. If I transform this to blue, it should be blue. Any form of blue that I want to say. Let's probably look at it in a form like this. It should be like this. And if it is also, hold it right there. If it's any of this color, you have to see it like this. If it is this other one, it should be like that. However, due to distance and the forces for that which also this neutral world is, this shade or that thing, it also happened. It has a way to affect this. And that which also you focus on from this point, by the time it gets here, there may be some changes that at least if it has to take 1,000 to reach here, there may be other conditions that can change or that may reduce. So that is why they have to create 1,000, but they will create beyond 1,000 for reason being reserved. Other things may set in. Like sometimes temperatures, like if you are in the froze, it will differentiate the travel. If you are in the heat, the travel will be different. The result will be the same. The result won't be the same. So you have to have it or acknowledge that. So the science is that which I'm also showing, which is the law. Now focus on the screen. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up things. So what we want to talk about, let's go on it. Let's find out. So you really need what? The Lord to say, if heaven, you are an angel. He said what? For the heavens will bear record of thee, that indeed what you have done on earth should be shown in that place. And on earth, what I agree with, or what agree with us, should be also the spirit. That I want to do this, but let it go to that source that I focus on. Yes, that's what it is. So if I'm not a light, I don't think we can have this. And not just light, it's just a world that the Lord created for himself. That if you become one of them, we shouldn't call this person what you know already that they say he has sinned. I'm not one of them. Yet I carry them when I need them. Because not everything they have to do that I can talk of, like you mentioned Yeshua. There are things I won't involve when I'm doing it here. Yet they naturally they will be involved. But I won't call them in the what? In what I'm doing, because let's say they won't give myself anything if I call them, because as they give you what you think, they guide you to do. Nobody comes here to deceive myself like that, no. Because if I'm the one living, let me prove it. So we have to prove it. That's the only way you can say. That's why they told you, they said, for the devil had tempted him that if you claim your father is the magical one or the supreme one, that was a simple communication. That then turn this rock or stone toward a living bread or to bread. That was the spirit proving. But maybe you have to also know what time it is, being given time, when it should happen and when it shouldn't happen. So he was saying, so Yeshua claimed that he is also, he is fasting. So in that case, he has tempted him with the law breaking. But he didn't say that he has done the wrong thing. He said the Lord rebuked thee. And the word rebuke means the Lord correct thee. But the Lord does not correct his enemies. For it is written that, for the Lord rebuke them that he chastened. For the righteous he rebuke. That means when you are within and you do wrong thing, he will correct you. But in an act that if he should lash you to that which he has lashed you, that you should know, no, this one, I told you not to do this. This one, don't do that. That's it. But there are others, when it comes to the judgment, they will be dead or killed or destroyed because he doesn't call them. He doesn't need them. That's it. So a world that is in this form, that's a world, right? So to show it that if a light like this casts itself on this, you have to see it like this. Watch. Let's drag it here. If that light, you see what it is? If this light right now should be in a form, let it be. So in this, if it should take place from behind the globe, only the people at the other side here will see what is casting on this white light or this earth or this star. But as we are the one audience right in front here, let's bring it to what? To this order of what? Order. So to do this means command, conduct, order that it should not fail. Then it is here. There we now have it in a form like this. So that if it is shadow it should be shadow, and that shadow will be what? Whatever color it takes that have an influence over your life. That's what we're saying. These are the things we are saying. Alright? Look at what we are showing. Those things I was showing, because I told you the neutral ground. I told you, right? Look, that thing is here. Look at it here. That which we are trying to show, that light, watch here, is here. Because I told you. Now let's go out of darkness and see it as what it is given here. You see that we were trying to make those things work. Do you find out that truly what I was doing was actually showing, but it's because of what? Darkness. Then the Bible tells you, for they that lack knowledge is because they are in darkness, and whoever lack knowledge is in darkness. Yes, and that when light comes, you know what has been hid. So when I place light on it, you now see what we're trying to create, which maybe darkness had not allowed you to see. But if you were light enough, you would have given yourself light to know what is here. Do you agree? This same thing that we did it to is this. So let's watch carefully something. Let's transform this now. So these stages I have created will be the same transformation I have to have. It won't be my enemy's work. It will be the stages involved in creating it that I have to see. Like this. You say it right? This is the transformation. That I have to have it the way excellence it is. Maybe watch carefully now. What are we saying? Watch here now. That is word. So we're showing this. Now let's see what we're doing to this object, that it should be what and what that I have added to it. Let's see the way it is. If it should be here, the reflection should be on. Oh, I get it. I guarantee this. So how the 10 will be from the source that light is reflecting, like this, like this, and that shows the portion that energy is what transmitted again. That's all I simply want to say. Now let's get to what we are saying. You know, some of you are not having it the way you want it. How do you want it? Let's see how many minutes we have to say we've been on live. 54 minutes. So we probably will go for, normally I want it to be in one place. One place. So that if you fail to watch everything, you will say that I'm the one who cut a part of it off. So let's put it in. Now the main thing. The main thing, let's say it. Let's see the main thing. What is the main thing? What we are doing, everything in this is the main thing. On the road. This is the road that leads to heavens. They say broader it is, like this. How broad it is this. And wide. So there is a part you should see how wide something is and how broad it is. When you look at what they say broader, the broader way, the way that is broad, and also narrow it as a point where they seem to be meeting. That's why it narrows to. You stand here and think, oh, the road is at a point, but when you keep on traveling, you realize that it is as it is here, or how it has been constructed. You're going to travel that way. That is to have it at the meeting point. You are probably thinking it's here like that. So when the light source is taken from here, as it's open, look at something. Let's take a square and travel or create a light in this. That if this becomes the light source and is to reflect into the space, we're going to see it like this. We have to have this knowledge. Have I traveled space or to see what is there? I know it. I know it. That's why we created, so I know what I'm saying. So I know it. I really have. Of course, even when I'm saying it, you know that if I say things and they are like that, that's what I'm telling you. That's the spirit that makes it possible. So when we look at it in this form, then I have it spread to this. At what angle you can perceive it. If I should stretch to this side, that is how maybe the area is. So you see that you can have a triangle form like this. So you see it as a triangle necessarily doesn't make it triangle. Do you agree? Yes, watch what it's saying. Maybe you are seeing this. You say this. It draweth triangle in a way you perceive it. Yet in the space, it is wide. It is just showing how wide their light source spread toward a certain angle other than just looking at it from the source like this. That when you leave the moon is as a spot small, yet glowing into space and reach out almost every place. It can't say, I won't reach here if I'm having the range, energy to reach that place. And it has to be. So if your enemy possesses your mouth, they will claim they know what you're doing. They can't tell they know. Because I'm not using a book. Because I have no such book. Let's watch carefully. If I have to perform this, if the light source here is this color, you have to see it like it is, right there. So we have to transform it to get even to that place I was trying to show light. So when light hit that source that was a little brighter than the side, you have to see it also casting how it is, a reflection. So it means it's a reflect act. Reflect, what is reflect? It means that when you hit here, we want to see you also as what? A source bounds. That's reflect act. A source bounds means that it can also receive and emit. How they receive from the sun and give to this world. They don't just give to the earth as the moon. The moon does not just serve the earth. It is many things that it is, whoever it is that it gives it light to, determines what? How they receive and the source emitting. That's it. So we are not in any classroom or somebody to show opposite what doesn't bring even what we need. What do you think we can talk about that will feed the day or that will not affect what we are saying? Wrongly or good? You don't just come and talk about somebody in this world to be claiming or ruling. What role they play, that's who they are. But I don't play the role they play. So you don't come and call my name to say I'm rather that person you know. I'm not the one you serve or you worship in your group. Because when I come, I have to show you what it is over there. Not the rule of that person as they give you to kill. I didn't come to tell you kill. I can only say kill my enemy because they kill us. But outside they say it's a law that if you want to join the sun or the moon, you have to kill a human being before you join. No, that's never the rule. It is not a part of what we're saying here. But when you kill this flesh, and then I wake up, or the Lord should wake myself, it will be on a purpose to revenge. That's why we say avenge and revenge. The Lord have this word for himself. So whatsoever thing you have done to his people, when he comes to a place like I'm saying, there the function will be. So only those who are with him, one as he is, like not just saying one personality. We are, let's say 35 or 33 million people in this country. Yeah, they normally talk about somebody more than themselves. That is what it is. Somebody more than themselves. That's a healing. And the word for healing is hail. Who we ascend, or who we say our goodness to be given to. Let's say if somebody cannot keep life, why do you give life to them? And when you need life, they won't give you. That's a mystery, right? So we have to talk about it, and you look at how it is in the universe. All that you are seeing, collapse, corruption, and all of that's how it is. Some of the stars, the people who rule over them, that's what they are. That's how the spirit, how they obey and how they disobey. That will keep the law. So the Lord has actually almost every time moved himself out of trouble into a place that will give him what he, the Lord himself, is originally. Not somebody trying to say I should be white and then you are saying no, I should have black by force or I should have red by force. No, you don't know why at the state of times I will have to be the way I am. You don't keep the rule that I keep. But if I'm universally given as an angel, I have to know what you keep. But you don't know what level it operates. That's it. So 17th February. Now watch carefully. Let's go on the live wide view again. In the learning, according to what? Biblical studies, the number 17, in the law of the Lord, the Torah. And in ancient biblical history, is a what? Is a profound symbol for complete victory. So I have had somebody cut off my generation, and I have had to say declaring it. That's what it is. And what? Overcoming the enemy. That is it again. Sometimes when the Lord is cutting off the enemy, it affects you because they have a claim Let's say if somebody tie knot to you like a married couple, when they tie knot as they claim, they have already in the churches or on altars claim they will die together. So that become what? They will die together. It's a curse. That is a spell. So if that you have spoken, you don't know, spirits are keeping certain things. But to prove that it came from somebody that tell you to tell, and on the day like that they will save you, there you should watch. If the Lord is not involved, that which you spoke out there or a speech you made, that speech holds something against you, because you didn't solve the problem before you go out there and say it openly, because you think you have been given to say it. The spirit were recording, they were hearing. Are you not that wise to know what it means, this word you have proclaimed? That's it. Continue quickly. That we have to say, if today the number in the generation past is to reflect today, having your enemy collapse or die, these are the victory level. So that you gotta say, you bring back to life your enemy that is dead. The Bible did not say you should go and give the food that will be given to us to somebody. Myself Sunday. How do you give my food to Friday? Okay, if Friday, even who doesn't have Sunday authority, have been given a portion and they eat, why not the Sunday himself? This is where the judgment you cannot skip. There's nowhere on earth, nor in heavens, that you can tell me that Sunday that the hill has light. Who comes from his own name and his own element, work out and show the work approved. You have people eat his food and he himself doesn't eat. Is that a judgment you should give? You build your house that you don't sleep in the house. Somebody else who is not a purpose or reason, he should sleep there. You think that's a law. This law is not with us as you claim. However, it's a disadvantage to anybody that will pick up things from us and later I can take your place. Because it's not your place. You rob the person who have it and claim it is yours and place your name on it. So if I come for it, that's the rule. It means you build for us some of the vision or dreams, even though you were not the one building, because from the source that you pick it, that's what built it. Now it is also what? It is derived from the combination of the number 7, spiritual number, that is what? To fetch. If peradventure you meet 7, they say what? Fetch from 7. That's the meaning word. So the word perfection wasn't any word called perfection. It is the word peradventure. If you meet service, serve the person or serve yourself. That's what it means to say perfection. That's why they were using the perfection, and you saw the 37 years that I was, they removed my eyes. So it was opposite. It means that the devil, the beast, he removed my eyes. So that's why he fetched the eye. The good that I have, they fetch it. But they were not the supposed people that were to what? Fetch it. I can't give you my eye when you are my enemy. I am not, let's say, Igwe. How do I give you my eye from Nkonya? I am not a dust or death. How do you lose yourself to the dust to corrupt or to rot? Then I should give you that which is from heaven, placed on dust. I won't do that. It's like you model something, you made your own clay works, and then you are saying that it is clay, but let's remove somebody who is living and not dead, his eye, and place on the clay. That's what you are looking forward to understanding. Now, this word, that, perfection. So the word was fetch. The word was fetch. So if I with internet, you know what is mask, filters, fetch, all of that. And in water fetching, you fetch water, or there are things you actually fetch. But when you say perfection, it means when you meet life, you have to have life. If you are on adventure to life, purpose. But you, the one who is an enemy to the law, you don't have the right to fetch from us. Then the Samaritan or the Samaritan woman, when Christ was on the mission, he had the faith Christ or the purpose that his father may make or meet him peradventure if he should be tasty, or if he should taste for water. So the word is if he should taste for water.